Hi guys, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to HBRV Lifestyle. As you all know, they call me the Honey Badger because I give it to you straight and transparent about the RV business. Today, I'm really nervous. There's a lot of information I'm going to share on this live stream, and the reason why I'm doing it here instead of on the podcast or doing a podcast episode is to keep me in check of not using foul language. Okay. We're live on Rumble, we're live on Twitch. Thank you to everybody that's come in. If you're listening to this later, this may go 2 hours. Oh boy. First thing is, I'm not going to answer any questions, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the press release that was released by Grand Design RV. And I got it off their website, and I got it sent to me. See, when I got this, I didn't expect what I said during my last episode, and then all of a sudden, like a day later, after I released that episode about 3-year versus 5-year frame warranty, all of a sudden, bam, there's something from Grand Design. Okay. Hi, guys. And I'm sorry if I don't answer questions in the comments, okay? Just bear with me. I got a lot of stuff to share, okay? So we're going to give you context in this, and I'm going to just absolutely unload on the information that was sent to me, okay? Dear valued customers, since Grand Design's founding, we have had the mission to build a better RV and a better RV company. During this 11-year journey, our most important commitment has always been and always will be our customers. Right. Rumors and misinformation have been swirling online regarding excessive frame flex across the industry, including a small percentage of our large Solitude and Momentum fifth wheel products. In each case, we have performed a thorough review and are working directly with our customers to resolve the concerns. Okay. First off, it's not a small percentage. Okay. So I'm going to read you guys, before I go further, I'm going to read you guys a text message that I screenshot and sent to myself, okay? Oops. Wrong email, this one, okay? This is from an independent service shop back east, okay? It says, HB, I just wanted to let you know that this week, that's this week, right now, okay? We had 9 Solitude fifth wheels ranging from 2019 to 2023 year models show up with extreme frame failure. We are right now in process of trying to see if we could get these folks warrantied. There is everything from cracks in the I-beam to separation of the wall from the frame. That's 9 Solitudes. Another one texts me. These are independent people. These are not dealerships, okay? We're not referring to dealerships. We're referring to independent service centers. That's all they do is service. They don't sell Grand Design products. So I believe them more than I believe Grand Design or dealerships, okay? This guy's in the Southeast. Hey boss, I just wanted to kind of keep you up to date. We just took in 5 more Momentums. That makes a total of 17 Grand Design fifth wheels that I have received since April 19th. 19th, yeah. Okay. We have everything from not just the frame flex, but also the failure frame and cracks in the I-beam. We're in process right now of seeing if we can get Lippert or Grand Design to warranty them. Small percentage. Got one more for you. This guy's on the West Coast. Let me go down where it says. Hey, buddy, just want to keep you up to date. We received 5 Solitude fifth wheels this week. Everything from cracks on the I-beam to equalizer hanger crack. Boy, I can't read with anything today. They also received an Imagine travel trailer too, but that's nor here nor there. We're talking mainly fifth wheels. So one of them is a Solitude, actually 5 Solitudes. The I-beams are cracking. I said, well, there's enough of them that if they happen in the next couple months, we can pretty much start also putting more and more blame on Lippert. And then the response was, that's the I-beams that are cracking. He sent me a picture of it. And I said, what other year, make, and models came in besides Grand Design so far? And he said he'd get me a list of them. Because I know it's not just a Grand Design problem, okay? But the percentage, if you want to talk about a percentage, the other manufacturers are not having this problem nearly as bad as Grand Design is. Grand Design is the predominant problem. So let's continue. By the way, that's just in the last 2 weeks. That doesn't include the well, I'm not going to give you a number. I'll just say the overwhelming amount of people that have emailed me, that have texted me, that have direct messaged me, that have called me, that have reached out in one form or another. Wake up. It's what this tells me, and I'm going to read the rest of it. What it tells me is Don Clark is sitting on his perch, way up on his throne with his $32 million in stock he cashed out over the last 3 years. And he's so out of touch with what's going on that he'd rather just tell everybody that customers are crazy, influencers are crazy, and it's just nuts. If I was that crazy, if everything I say here on this channel and on the podcast is that crazy, how come some of the bigger RV YouTubers in this space, the RV YouTubers, the corporate RV dealership YouTubers, really? Why would they be subscribers to this channel and to the podcast? It's not out of their health. A subscription is a support metric. Think about that. Okay. It goes on to say, we have also been working directly with our frame supplier, a third-party structural engineering firm, and industry experts to ensure that our products and processes meet and exceed industry standards. Our commitment to our customers is absolute, and we continue to stand behind every product we build. Then how come I'm getting a bunch of customers that tell me you're not? That you're being stingy on the hotel bill when they have to come back to Elkhart to have it fixed, or wherever the heck the factory is. Who's the engineering team? Why don't we talk to them? I want to talk to them. I want to talk to your third-party engineering firm. I want to see who that is. I want to see who owns it. Is it your buddy from high school that owns it? Is it someone connected to the Lippert company? Is it someone connected to the RV industry in total? I think so. I'm going to tell you who else thinks so. Wall Street. And I'll get into that later. There's a little carrot for you to stick around. Because I have some interesting stuff that investment bankers think of all this. So it's no longer about just the industry. Now the money people are taking a look at this. The money people, the people that buy and sell stock, the people that manage people's wealth. Think about that. To show our commitment, effective immediately, our frame warranty is extended to 5 years on all Grand Design products. In addition, the 5-year frame warranty will be honored retroactively from the date of retail purchase starting with year model 2020. Is there something wrong with 2018 or 19? Is there something wrong with the 2017s? Why are you only doing 2020 and newer? We continue to be confident in the products we make and want our customers to know that they will always receive top-notch support, including the best warranties in the industry. That is a absolute baloney statement. There have been too many people that have said that they have been treated like absolute garbage by Grand Design. Their own customers. Some people are repeat buyers. I talked to one gentleman yesterday that was talking about he bought a 2014 travel trailer from Grand Design. I'm not going to mention the brand because, again, I want to keep the guy's name private and his information private. And then he upgraded to a fifth wheel, a reflection fifth wheel. And now he's in one of the two bigger fifth wheel brands. And his fifth wheel, trying to get into Grand Design to fix the frame failure on his coach, has been pulling teeth. First, they want him to go to a dealership for diagnostic, which makes sense. I'm going to give him that. That makes sense. But then after it goes to diagnostic, it's sat at the dealership lot for 2 months. And neither the dealer or Grand Design could give him a straight answer. So obviously, they don't give an absolute garbage about top-notch support. There's been too many cases from their own customers that they suck at customer service. Period. There's too many people out there that bought Grand Design products that say Grand Design sucks when it comes to customer service. They've mentioned a bunch of names. I don't need to expose them here. They've been exposed on Greg Carson's channel on Cruising with the Carsons. Okay? I don't need to get into that. I also want to point out that I have now spoken to 27 independent service centers, not dealerships, because dealerships are going to give me a biased opinion if they're Grand Design dealers. These are independent shops. And every one of them said that about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, the frame warranty for Grand Design from 2014 to about 2019, 2020 was 5 years already. That's why, by the way, I already answered the question, what was wrong with 2018, 17, and 19? It's because they already had a 5-year warranty on those frames. Something changed in 2020 where the frame warranty went to 3 years. Now, I don't have enough evidence to tell you this is why, but there are rumors. There is speculation. And the rumors and speculation is Grand Design asked Lippert to build them a cheaper frame. A cheaper, lighter weight frame for their fifth wheels. Again, I have no evidence of that at all. That is simply a bunch of service guys that are talking to me that have no connection, no skin in the game, telling me, and they don't know each other, well, at least most of them don't know each other, and they're all telling me some version of the same story about the frame warranty. So pretty much what Grand Design did was go, well, we screwed the pooch, so let's try to fix it, sweep it under the rug, make me feel like I'm stupid, I'm the customer. Well, I must be stupid because I'm a Grand Design customer and they keep telling me it's a less than 1% or less than a 10% or less than this percent. So I must be crazy or just have bad luck. Well, so must the other thousands of people that have said that they're having major frame problems with these large fifth wheels built by Grand Design. And now we're seeing that it's also with reflection customers too. See, here's the thing, guys. And I know I'm kind of going all over the place. It's going to be like this for this, okay? And I'm sorry. But I guess because this is what one guy told me the other day. He called me. He was stressed out. He had to go to the doctor because he's got extreme high blood pressure. His eyes twitching. His chest is tight because he spent $120,000 on a Grand Design fifth wheel and feels like he can't move it because he went on one trip and the fiberglass is already cracking. One trip. And the problem is during the earnings call with Lippert, Jason Lippert once again is pointing the finger at customers. Oh, they're overloading it. Oh, they're going off the grid. Oh, they're going down, bad roads. It's the customer's fault in most cases. Oh, a collision may have happened. This is all that finger pointing. Let's point the finger at the customer because the customer doesn't support the RV industry. The customer who spends their hard-earned money doesn't deserve, or deserves, I should say, the customer spending their hard-earned money deserve to have the finger pointed at them. So this is the reality of it all. Okay? This is the crappy part of it all. So if it is true, and I have zero evidence of it, but if it is true that Grand Design went to Lippert during the pandemic and asked for a lighter weight, cheaper frame, and Lippert said, okay, if we're going to do that, then we're going to shrink your warranty from 5 years to 3 years. If that's true, that tells you this is not a Lippert problem. I will give them a lot of the blame because of the deflection and the finger pointing and the BS earnings call that Jason Lippert was on. But this means the RV manufacturer created this problem. They created their own problem. Once again, I have no evidence or proof of that. This is all coming from service parties. This is not coming from an RV manufacturer. This isn't coming from a competing dealer. This isn't coming from some dude off the street. This isn't coming from the Sparklets delivery driver that drives into Lippert to drop off water every day. For those of you that know that story, that's a funny one, okay? But that's the crazy. Right? That's the crazy. The other thing I want to point out on that is there's two Grand Design owner issue groups that are not run by Grand Design, that are private groups, that they don't allow people in just to be in the club. One is called RV Design, Grand Design RV Owners with Issues, 13,400 people over 6 years. Okay? Then there's the one run by West on the Move, Lisa and Pete West, that has 2,600 members, and it's been open for less than 50 days. So how is that less than half of 1% or whatever it is? That isn't. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all propaganda. And there's people that will die on the sword for Grand Design, owners, employees, etc. And I feel bad for a lot of the employees that are the service shop guys and all that. And one guy had the audacity to tell me yesterday through an email that Grand Design does not have any rigs in their bays. I drove by Elkhart yesterday. They're clean. And yet I've got 7 people that are in Elkhart, Indiana right now that have driven by several times to say, holy crap, their service yard and their service bays are full of fifth wheels. So tell me, who's lying? Grand Design RV, the company, and Don Clark, the CEO? Or the customers that spent their hard-earned money on a dream, on a lifestyle, and trusted a company that was supposed to be the best in the industry? You tell me what you think. At Grand Design, we are guided by our principles and values. Do the right thing. Put people first and be the best. Sorry, pardon me. These values have and always will guide our decisions and focus in action. Look, I'm going to say that I think it's partial propaganda and partially Don Clark is out of touch with what's really going on. I said this about Jason Lippert the other day when he answered all those frame flex questions terribly. Absolutely horribly. They were the worst answers Mr. Lippert could have given on that earnings call. And what did I say? He's either an absolute idiot or he's out of touch with reality. So which one is it? Is Don Clark just a moron? Is he greedy? Or is he just out of touch? Is it a combination of them? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I could tell you that if you want to complain about misinformation, go talk to the customers that are complaining. Go up to the thousands of customers that are out there saying what a piece of crap your customer service is. They'll tell you. In fact, I'll tell you the same thing I said to Jason Lippert on the last podcast when I announced to him. I said on the last podcast, on the podcast episode, Mr. Lippert, what you should do since you're so out of touch with reality and what's going on, go buy one of my HB RV lifestyle hats and shirts, go walk over to the Grand Design service area and just ask people. They don't know who you are or what you look like. If they see that, they're just going to go, hey, we know that guy. You're a fan of his podcast too? Mr. Clark, not many people know what you look like. Buy one of my polos. Buy one of my hats. Go into the service center of Grand Design and go talk to the actual customers. Stop being on your perch with your $32 million in cashed out stock. 3 years, $32 million, all public record. You cashed out. If you're, either get off your perch, go retire on an island, go enjoy the Bahamas, go play golf, get out of the RV industry for the next 10 years. Bring somebody in that's more down to earth and is willing to actually listen to the customer and not sweep their concerns under the rug. This is why I have said for the last 2 months that Don Clark should either resign or Winnebago should fire him. Now, the chances of Winnebago firing him, not going to happen. He's got too much stock, he's got too much power, and he's got 4 more years on his contract. But he should resign. He should take his ball and go play somewhere else for a while. Let somebody that's in reality, because here's the thing, guys. This is the bottom line of it all. Grand Design has more than 15% market share in the fifth wheel space. Some years it's less, some years it's a lot more, but they have a nice chunk of market share. Okay? Nice chunk. They cannot go out of business. It would be devastating to the entire RV industry at this point if Grand Design goes out of business. If Winnebago shut its doors because of all the issues, if it closed down because of all of its issues, let's say 3 years from now, it would be absolutely catastrophic. It would be worse than what happened to the toy hauler industry when Weekend Warrior went out. It would be absolutely devastating to the entire market. It would take a decade to clean it up. So, I have said this once, I'll say it a million more times. The only way that this is ever going to change is if the entire RV community banded together and said, no more buying Grand Design products until it is done, until the entire thing's cleaned up. Because let me tell you something. If Grand Design fifth wheels sit on dealership lots for 6 months, 7 months, and dealers keep paying interest on it, and there's no customers coming in to buy, no customers coming in to look, that will put pressure. Because there's a lot of dealerships that depend on the profit right now because of how screwed up the entire economy is. The economy is such a bloody mess in the United States. Okay? That dealerships are depending on companies like Brinkley and like Grand Design's profit. So a momentum, most of the time in a normal area, normal market, normal everything, is a 20-25% margin for a dealership. They make a lot of money. Okay? They bring in a lot of profit. And right now dealerships need that profit to stay open, to pay their bills. So if you put the pressure on the dealers will put the pressure on the factory. That's a fact of life. There's only 2 ways this changes. It's not going to change because I keep saying things. They don't care about me. I'm little old me. There's a lot. Hey, I'm impressed on how many RV executives, how many bank executives, how many Wall Street people, how many people in the upper echelon of the world watch my podcast, watch this live stream, and are fans of the channel. But that doesn't mean that it's going to move the needle where they're going to change. They're just going to laugh and say I'm blowing hot air. But if their pocketbook was hurt, or if the federal government stepped in because this caused a catastrophic event where human lives are lost, that's when things will change, unfortunately. It's going to take that. One of those 2 things. And I hope it's the pocketbook, because the other thing I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. Okay. Now, I'm going to get into some other things. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D-Generation X proudly brings you the World Wrestling Federation. Sorry, I'm nervous about this. So, okay. This is going to be tough for me to do, okay? So, this is a report from D.A. Davidson. If you guys don't know who D.A. Davidson is, I made some notes here. See, little sticky notes, okay? They manage $65 billion in assets, 20 years managing assets and buying investment and equity groups. In the last 3 years, they did $1.8 billion in net revenue. Okay? So, this one is the first one I'm going to read. And it says, Leisure Power Sports Industry, Institutional Equity Research, March 19, 2024. Okay. Okay. we are reiterating. This is going to take a while, guys, so you have to bear with me. I can't just simply put this on the net, okay? I can't. But I'm going to read it. Mid-March, RV checks indicate decelerating retail trends versus February. We are reiterating our buy rating on Camping World Holdings, our underperform rating on LCII, and our neutral ratings on Thor, Winnebago, and PATK after our most recent RV checks revealed slowing March retail trends after an underwhelming February retail performance. So once again, same thing I've been saying. The economy's not getting any better for RVs. Everybody keeps wanting to say it is. It's not. Okay? It will get better. Disappointing year-to-date retail trends have influenced order cancellations for dealers, which leaves us cautious on the 2024 RV industry outlook. Heading into Winnebago's 2Q24 earnings release, we are forecasting above consensus earnings of 89 cents, so minus 10 cents versus 87 cents consensus, but expect forward-looking commentary to result in lower 2H24 and FY25 earnings expectations. Okay, so I'm going to read the second part because the other part's all about basically our retail sales, which you all know are slow. Okay, dealer order cancellations driving an inventory buildup in Elkhart ? Now a lot of them have sold off their yards since, but just listen to this. From conversations with our contacts in Elkhart, we learned inventory has started to build around the county, driven by dealer order cancellations and tepid dealer order demand from the bulk of the industry. We found these insights particularly interesting given LCI touted increased February dealer orders on their most recent earnings call. However, it appears weaker than expected year-to-date retail demand has influenced some dealers to cancel their previously placed orders as the cost of holding inventory remains highly elevated. We believe dealer order cancellations over the past month likely influenced Thor's downwardly revised 2024 shipment guidance from 330,000 to 340,000. From an industry perspective, our contacts indicate larger dealership chains that have proactively cleared non-current inventory and have floor plan capacity for new inventory are not ordering product. But the large majority of the industry remains reluctant to order new inventory. Basically, guys, at the end of the day, the dealerships are not ordering. Okay? Here is a great example of something, okay? Great example of something. And this ties into the Grand Design Winnebago thing, okay? I talked to a guy today that was that's a rep for a travel trailer. Not too high up in the IQ up here sometimes. Sounds like likes to party and drink a lot. Told me a complete flat out lie. Told me that one dealer ordered 40 travel trailers from him. Not knowing I have contacts throughout the entire industry and know the dealer know the guy who owns that dealership, and he says, nah, I didn't even order close to that. I ordered like 8. So the over-exaggeration of that side of the industry is absolutely just horrendous. Now, do I believe the guy about 8? No. I'm going to say double that. I'm going to say reality is he probably ordered 16. Okay? Because, over-exaggeration, under-exaggeration. We all know how that goes. Okay? All right. Okay. Hold on one second. Let me go to... There was another one. Here we go. I have heard from people working in the factories that multiple OEMs are consolidating production and running multiple lines/brands in one facility. Due to weaker demand, there's a lot of production facilities that are idle right now, and as a result, there's a lot of unemployed labor around Elkhart. Keystone just built this huge facility and looks like they're not even going to use it right now. The combining of different lines tells me production is scarce. Aside from elevated pricing and interest rates, depressed used values are weighing on new demand as well because a lot of customers want to trade in their current unit as a down payment. Used prices have dropped about 25% since September, and unfortunately, I've seen multiple customers over the last month realize they had negative equity on their loan because they bought inventory at peak pricing during the pandemic. We are getting more calls from customers looking to sell their unit without another purchase as well, just trying to dodge a monthly payment. The frame flex issue that's been buzzing around the internet is real. We hold a good amount. Okay, this is from a Grand Design dealer. Didn't mention the name. The frame flex issue that's been buzzing around the internet is real. We hold a good amount of larger Grand Design product, and we've been in contact with them regarding the issue. I did have to sign a non-disclosure agreement with them and Lippert regarding the issue. So I can't really say much on the magnitude of this issue. I'll just say that we're aware of it and have definitely let our customers know that this is something that shouldn't be ignored. I'm going to repeat that. That right there is a smoking gun. The frame flex issue that's been buzzing around the internet. We hold a good amount of larger Grand Design product, and we've been in contact with them regarding the issue. I did have to sign a non-disclosure agreement with them and Lippert regarding the issue, so I can't really say much on the magnitude of the issue. I'll just say that we're aware of it and have definitely let our customers know that this is something that shouldn't be ignored. We're one of the biggest areas in the area, P&W, and I can tell you that we're probably doing better than some of the single location guys that are around. We're down about 15% in February. That's a different dealer. Okay, so go back. So this is a Grand Design dealer admitting that the problem is larger, and they know more than I do because Grand Design and Lippert made them sign a non-disclosure agreement. Can everybody hear me still? Somebody said they lost audio. Everybody good? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Can you still hear me? Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay. So that's a big smoking gun. Okay. Now we're going to this. D.A. Davidson report. LCI. April 18th, 2024. This is last month. LCI underperformed thesis remains intact entering quarter 1 24 earnings. This is before Lippert's earning call. Okay. We are reiterating our underperform rating and $91 PT on LCI after taking a step back and assessing what's changed in terms of industry assumptions, supplier competition, earning expectations, and overall industry fundamentals. Entering earnings release, we are comfortable with our street high 65 cents versus the 52-cent consensus, given stronger than expected year-to-date RV shipments. This has to do with the March shipments, okay? But that's also because all the yards were cleared out, okay? This wasn't fresh builds. This was like Camping World bought out a bunch of yards, General RV, Lazy Days, they all bought our yards, okay? So I just want to make sure that's there, okay? We are expecting cautious forward-looking for year 24 commentary. RV industry participants have been vocal about reducing costs and or diversifying their supply base. Here is what everybody's been waiting to hear. Okay? In order for retail to accelerate and production to increase, many dealerships and insiders believe affordability needs to improve. RV OEMs and retailers realize this as well, and over the past 6 months, since our downgrade, there have been multiple comments made indicating the industry may need to diversify its sourcing to lower prices to the consumer. On November 2nd of last year, it's 2023, Camping World's CEO Marcus Lemonis indicated, I think this industry needs to continue to diversify its sources of those products, meaning all the stuff they buy from Lippert, okay, to ensure that there's diversity in options for those manufacturers and whether manufacturers are starting up their own train businesses or their other entries into the market so that competition drives down prices. In Thor's latest 2Q24 earnings release, they explicitly said, we are working with our supplier partners to identify opportunities to reduce cost where possible. We view potential industry sourcing diversification as a lose-lose situation for LCI, with the company either losing market share or forfeiting margin to maintain market share. As a reminder, LCI is traditionally traded at a premium to its peers because of their market share in key categories. So, somebody builds up a company, they sell it to Lippert. They build a company, they sell it to Lippert. Now we're seeing less companies sell to Lippert. Okay? So again, this is all about money. Let's just put it this way. This is all about money. Okay? If Lippert doesn't try to seal the wound, if Grand Design doesn't try to seal the wound, they're going to bleed. But the problem is once you get a company that manages that kind of money, start downgrading your stock, start pointing out stuff that even I didn't even know, that's when you know that the financial world is watching this closely because number one, they don't want to lose the wealth that they have. They don't want to lose the leverage. They don't want to lose the liquidity. They don't simply want to lose money. It's not just about their clients because clients lose and win money all the time, but it's about doing your homework and doing your job. And this report does an excellent job of both. Flex frame issue adds increased risk to the story. In our latest round of checks, we also uncovered a potential major issue relating to LCI's flex frames that are used by Winnebagos Grand Design fifth wheels and other OEM products. Notice they didn't mention any other manufacturer. They started with Grand Design. What does that tell you? It appears there is widespread frame failure for these products, meaning welds are cracking and fiberglass is breaking on some of these units. While it's unclear who is to blame for the frame failure, dealers we spoke with indicated there should be increased blame placed on the supplier. Both Grand Design and LCI have made public statements regarding this issue, and there has been a recall notice issued for two 2024 Grand Design models related to frame flex failure. They're assuming that's the axle recall and the brake recall. From failure issues have become a topic on social media and forum threads, with some indicating these issues stem from poor production quality standards during COVID when OEMs and suppliers were rushing to get products to dealers. In a recent video, we learned LCI issued a cease and disorder to an influencer threatening legal action if she did not take down 2 videos talking about frame failure issues. Now, there's context in that. If you guys don't know about that, there's context in that. And that is, Lippert was not mad at her for Liz Amazing for saying there's frame failure. It was the insider. So there's context there. I'm going to email these guys and say, hey, man, there's context there you're missing. Okay. So I'm going to defend Lippert a little bit there because there is context. While LCI has maintained these flex frame issues are not a problem, It appears there could be a warranty claim risk on previously produced frames if LCI is ultimately held liable. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Increased competition coming from outside the RV industry. In addition to learning about Norco RV and Thor's vertical integration efforts, there's been, THO's vertical integration efforts, there's been industry chatter there may be increased chassis competition coming outside of the RV market. What changed? Industry contacts have indicated there's a new Chinese chassis manufacturer, Terran, that has entered the market offering cheaper chassis versus other competitors. While the logistics for sourcing product from a Chinese manufacturer may be more complicated versus sourcing from Elkhart, the cheaper pricing is attractive to OEMs looking to lower prices. While we have not confirmed any OEMs deals with this brand yet, we'd imagine this new manufacturer could be in the mix for the model year 2025 bidding process. Okay. Now I'm going to reveal something to you that I wasn't sure whether I should say, but now I'm comfortable saying it now that the company is officially trying to get into the RV market. The company Terran, T-E-R-A-N, did contact me to be a consultant. I declined, okay? And the reason why I declined was because at the time I didn't have the time to do it. If they contact me again, I definitely will be a consultant because I'd like to see what they do different than Lippert. Okay. But this is a company that's really serious about getting into the RV frame industry. Okay. And I know that because they've contacted me in the past wanting to be a consultant. This was about 6-7 months ago. I declined at the time because, number one, I was busier than a hornet's nest. And number two, I was busier than a hornet's nest. Okay? I never told anybody that. Okay. Potential risks. The RV recreational boat industry and other markets that LCI sells, many of its products, where products are used, Where is it? Okay, there's two very interesting things, okay? A concentration risk. A significant percentage of LCI sales are concentrated in the RV industry, and declines in industry-wide wholesale shipments of travel trailer and fifth wheel RVs could reduce demand for its products and adversely impact its operating results and financial condition. In 2021, the OEM segment represented 81% of LCI sales and 76% of segment operating profit. Approximately 63% of LCI's OEM segment sales in 2021 were from products to manufacturers of travel trailer and fifth wheel RVs. Retail sales of RVs historically have been closely tied to general economic conditions as well as consumer confidence. Declines in industry-wide wholesale shipments of travel trailer and fifth wheel RVs could reduce demand for our products and adversely affect our operating results and financial condition. Raw material risk. Steel and aluminum represent approximately 45% and 15% respectively of LCI's raw material costs in 2021. The prices of these and other key raw materials have historically been volatile and can fluctuate dramatically with changes in the global demand and supply for such products. Because competition and business conditions may limit the amount of timing of increases in raw material costs, that can be passed through to its customers in the form of sale price increases, future increases in raw material costs, and can adversely impact LCI's financial condition and operating result. $65 billion company, the management of $65 billion. Huck bolts, there's different ones. NXG does huck bolts. Hey, Greg. So, guys, look. The bottom line is When a company that manages $65 billion in assets has, and that's only half of the paperwork, it kind of shines a light on this. So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but during the earnings call, because I didn't know who D.A. Davidson was until the earnings call from Lippert. Basically, Jason Lippert tried to bypass the question like, oh yeah, I know they got a report on it, but it's full of nonsense, basically. Why would a company with $65 billion in assets come out with a report that would lie when they have a bunch of customers that are invested into Lippert and invested into Winnebago? They don't want their people to lose money. Just think about that. Do they have some financial incentive to have those kind of reports and actually expose that stuff? Absolutely. They're not going to do that report for free. They're not going to go and do all that for free. Okay? So he emailed me several text messages from guys. I don't know if he's here today or not, but my boy in Manhattan, New York. This guy works in the financial area of things, okay? I'm going to read his text message he sent me on Monday. Badger, you are the man. Let me give you some things that you forgot to cover. With all the talk around the financial district about the potential of Lippert's exposure into frame failure, frame flex, whatever they want to call it, what you didn't look at is Winnebago's exposure. Winnebago has been known to be one of the top manufacturers with a brand name, like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, McDonald's. These are all brand names. When most people around the world hear the word Winnebago, they associate it with a recreational vehicle, like a motorhome or a camper. If you go and say Forest River or Thor, it's not as worldwide known. Your two biggest brand names have always been in the industry, Airstream and Winnebago. They're also two of the companies that have lasted over the decades. Now, while Forest River has lasted since the 80s, 88, okay, in one form or another, we have to look at brand names and stock exchange. So Winnebago is a publicly traded company with an entire brand under their umbrella that is losing the faith of the community that it serves, as well as having major looks at it from a financial standpoint and an investment standpoint. How does Winnebago stop the bleeding? Well, they have two choices. They can either announce they have a problem and try to recover their customer base and try to keep their market share, or number two, they can go acquire that brand new shiny toy. What may or may not happen depends on whether they apply for more debt. If Winnebago applies for more debt, be sure that shiny new toy is going to get acquired by the end of the year. And from what I understand, there is a big possibility that that is going to happen. Great text message. Okay, let's go to the other one I got. This is from a guy in Boston, Massachusetts. He does the same thing. He's in the financial side of things. I don't know. I don't like to expose what these guys do, but we'll just say that they're in the finance sector. They're part of investments, real estate, stuff like that. Here's one for you. Very smart guy. Dear HB, hey man, hope everything is good. I hope your stress level is down. Hope you're going fishing soon. Here's a couple of things to throw at you for, pardon me. Ooh, maybe I need a swig of one of my, oh, wait, what's that? That's called a cold one. Here's a couple food for thought for you. If the manufacturer of the frames is inevitably held liable over the next 10, 15 years, if they're held liable, then there will be other manufacturers to step up to the plate to create the chassis and components for the RV company. If they feel at any point and smell any weakness out of Lippert, then more than likely they're going to see major competition over the next 4 years for components. We're not just talking about US based companies, we're talking about foreign companies as well. You may be looking at companies in Mexico, Asia, maybe even Canadian companies that build frames. Just pay attention that as Lippert loses the faith of the industry slowly but surely, there is going to be an outreach by dealerships and by OEM manufacturers like Forest River, like Thor, like Arctic Fox, like all the ones you mentioned, and they're going to be looking for better quality at a lower price. Who's going to help the RV industry rebuild its customer base where the fifth wheels and fifth wheel toy haulers start selling again? That's going to be the question. The biggest problem is if Coca-Cola tomorrow decides to poison half of its Coca-Cola customers accidentally because a wrong sugar additive was put inside the can. If Coca-Cola says it's not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening, people start looking for another drink. Maybe Pepsi, maybe Pepsi products, or maybe they start looking at Jake Paul's drinks. Who knows? Maybe they'll even look at Mr. Beast's drinks. But just food for thought, when something like this occurs, you start seeing sprouting of competition because they smell weakness, and investors who are looking to put cash away into a company or a startup to prevent them from paying large taxes, pay attention for that as well. So, my message to all the RV executives out there, not named Don Clark, not named Jason Lippert, is do not go down the path of thinking you're immune to this. Okay? Because even if you're Brinkley, even if you're Northwood Manufacturing, which does Arctic Fox, even if you're Rev Group, who builds Lance travel trailers, even if you're a umbrella brand of Forest River or Thor Industries, do not assume you are immune to any of this. If you want to recapture market share and rebuild the trust of the RV community, you need to separate yourself from Grand Design RV. You need to show people what you do differently. You need to show that you could keep the RV affordable at the same time as build a good product. Everything's going to have problems. They're earthquakes on wheels. You can get mad at me about that term, but they are. They're earthquakes on wheels. Okay? That's right. Modelo is back. You know, more than likely, I'm going to get blacklisted out of the industry. If I ever lost my job here, no dealer would hire me ever again because of the podcast, because of this channel. So that's the skin in the game I have. Is I know that after this job, I got nowhere else to go. Because I can almost guarantee you that dealers are mad at me because of the education I give. Manufacturers are upset with me because of what's going on with Lippert and Grand Design. Pardon me. But the bottom line is without the customers buying RVs, without the customers going out and camping and talking around the campfire about good experiences, the industry collapses. The industry doesn't do anything. So Don Clark has cashed out over $32 million in stock over the last 3 years. Okay. Is that Black Knight heading over this guy? You know, it's real easy to stand on a throne and not take care of the people. You know, here's a perfect example. Elon Musk with Tesla recalled all the Cybertrucks. Not even a hesitation. That's why Tesla continues to have a good name around its own customer base. It's why it's really hard for other car manufacturers to break into the electric vehicle market. Why Tesla still owns the electric vehicle market. Because Elon knows his customer base and knows he has to take care of them. And that recall on the Cybertruck, that was every single Cybertruck is getting recalled. That tells you that Tesla companies like Tesla will step up and back their product. Elon's going to lose his butt. Tesla is going to lose their butt recalling those Cybertrucks. They've already started to lose money. Now they're going to really lose money. Elon has lost his, third richest guy in the world. I don't think he cares. Because at the end of the day, Elon Musk knows that recall today will pay dividends in 10 years. This is okay. So, sorry. So this is what I talked about 6 months ago when I told RV brand. I told them we all were talking at dinner, having a couple cocktails, and I said, dealerships do not trust manufacturers because you guys kept shoving crap down their throat. Okay, the first brand to give out free money to every dealer to get rid of their old inventory, so if they covered half the loss of 22s, they would dominate the market for the next 15 years. They would have the most loyal dealer base in the industry. Period. End of report. If Grand Design came out and said, we are going to recall every single fifth wheel sold from this year to this year, you go down, you go have your frame inspected by a company not connected to Elkhart, Indiana, not connected to Grand Design, not some kid's dad's softball coach. That's a joke, by the way, but it's actually true because that's how good old boyish the Indiana club is. Okay, everybody calls it a mafia. I call it a good old boys club. Grand Design would own the market for the next 10, 15 years. Because that shows they stood by their product and stood by their customers. Admitting there's a problem. We screwed up. But see, what they're afraid of is stock money. Because if they did that, Don Clark's stock value would tank. He couldn't cash out $20 million like he did last year. Greed. Now, greed is good, but this kind of greed is not. This kind of greed is what causes an entire industry to fall into the dark ages for a while. Will it collapse? No, it's never going to collapse. Will it get worse before it gets better? Absolutely. Especially when a certain CEO of a RV industry company says and insinuates that I'm making crap up on another YouTuber's platform, tell that to the 15,000 people that are inside these Facebook groups that are not controlled by Grand Design or it's one of its affiliates. Go tell them. Go tell all the people that are sitting in your service bays, that are sitting in the campgrounds, that have their rigs there, that are spending a couple $1,000s on hotel rooms, that they're not even sure if they're going to get reimbursed or not. Go tell all those people that I'm crazy, that they're crazy, that they're the ones causing this. You tell them that. Take care of the customers. Take care of the people that take care of you. Take care of the people that got you that $32 million payday. That's what I say. The last thing I'm going to say, I thought this was going to go 2 hours. Apparently I was able to do this shorter than I did. So the last 20 minutes here, I'm going to read a couple things because this is my plan for the ending. Okay. And Pete, when you listen to this later, these people are going to contact you, okay? They're going to put in the description of the Facebook group that I sent them, okay? Dear Honey Badger, I don't know if you can help us or not. We bought a brand new 2022 Momentum back in December of 2023. They said to us that the warranty is intact. But when I called Grand Design, because we are having really bad frame problems, our fifth wheel feels like it's going to break off where the fifth wheel hitch connection is. Like it's just going to snap off and fall on the side of the road as we tow it. Every time I have called Grand Design, I get the runaround. My caseworker acts like I'm a big inconvenience to him. They act as if this is all our fault and not theirs. Since December, we've used it twice, without any toys, without any water. We used it on trial runs, not going more than 200 miles. And we're already having this problem. When we called the dealership we purchased it from, they said that when they sold it, we signed a waiver saying that there was no warranty to the rig. Even though it was new, it was beyond the length of period of time. When we looked at the sticker, like you showed us how to do in one of your videos, it was built September of 2021. So we bought a unit that had been sitting around for more than 2 years. We have spent a lot of money just getting the fifth wheel from the campground to the dealership to have it looked at, and now we're stuck. I want to let you know that I was one of the people that thought you were crazy and just making stuff up. I'm sorry about one of my previous comments that I made on your YouTube page calling you certain names. I now understand that the real culprits in the cover-up is Grand Design itself. And I would have never thought that through all the shows, all the research we've done for 4 years, all the saving for the truck and the fifth wheel, for all the saving for our 2-year plan of travel after retirement. If you can, please send us in the right direction. Please help us. Yes, that's a cigar. Non-disclosure agreements are normal in a buyout. Okay? But to completely ignore people, treat people like crap, treat people like garbage, it's insanity. I'm a little emotional. I'm trying not to cuss. Yeah, but the 5-year warranty was already there in 2019 and below, according to the service people I talked to. They're just making up for stuff. They're not trying to save face. Okay, one last one. Because then I'm going to start getting emotional, and I don't cuss on this channel. Never have, never will. We're going to keep it that way. We save all the foul language for the podcast channel. Dear Badger, I want to share our story with you. We have a 2022 Momentum 395. We finally got the Grand Design to buy it back after 9 months of arguing back and forth. I'll give you the short version of the extremely long story. This is before we found Paving New Paths YouTube channel and several others. This is before we actually found you. We were camping, having a good time, hooked up to the fifth wheel with my F450 dually, and we noticed that the fifth wheel on the driver's side was drooping about 3 inches. Didn't think anything of it, looked around, didn't look like anything was going to come apart, anything of that nature. Started driving it home. Got it home, hit the auto level button to just put it in the parking lot and start putting out slides. We were supposed to have guests. Again, even with the auto level system and it being level, it was tipping about 3.5 inches on the driver's side. I thought this is odd. So I called an actual mobile mechanic to come out. Knowing I'm going to pay out of pocket because I'm out of warranty, I called them. They came out and they introduced me to the word frame flex and showed me inside the bedroom, inside several areas, that my walls, sidewall and floor, were coming apart from the actual frame. I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, Grand Design has a 3-year structural warranty. I should be able to get this covered, no problem. 9 months later, I'm finally bought out of it and it's gone. But they told me it was because I must have hit something. So I thought about it. Did something hit the fifth wheel while I was parked? Did somebody back into it? So I actually had a body shop guy come out that I know that has worked on several of my classic cars. And he said to me, there's no signs of damage. There's no signs of getting hit. He goes, that's strange. So after back and forth, I finally decided, you know what? I'm going to call my insurance company and see what they say. Insurance company came out with a separate inspector and told me flat out this is a widespread defect that he has seen in the majority of Winnebago fifth wheels. He was shocked how widespread. He says, well, the oldest I could find is 2017, and at the time last year, he said it's even done in stuff that people bought a month or two ago. So I tried to get it covered under insurance. The insurance company said since it's a manufacturer defect, they will not be covering it under insurance. In fact, about 3 weeks later, I got a notice in the mail that my insurance now is canceled. And I had to find new insurance for the fifth wheel. So the long and the short of it is you could point the finger at me. I don't put any toys in the back. The only thing I put in the back of this 395 was my Harley Davidson motorcycle. We ride with zero water because we don't go dry camping. We simply go to resorts that have full hookups and can fit a 45-foot fifth wheel. There is no way in God's green earth that my wife or myself would be at any place camping that didn't have a golf course nearby or a lake where I could put a boat or rent a boat and go water skiing. Long and short of it, when they tell you that you're supposed to be supposedly overloading the fifth wheel, or you had it in a collision, or there's poor road conditions, my consensus would be you are the most full of bleeping company on God's green earth. Now we are happy. We bought a Mobile Suites fifth wheel about 2 months ago, and we are so happy with it. It weighs more. I end up buying a bigger truck, but moral of the story is when the lies keep coming, they don't know how to turn it around and tell the truth. I already gave Greg a hug already. Oh, I'm wearing these headsets from my Xbox because my microphone hasn't shown up yet. You can't watch my... Well, Theo, I'm going to tell you. At the end of the day, guys, my podcast is... I'm using less and less foul language. So, a couple quick things. I never ask this, but if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do so. It helps. I normally don't ask those things. If you enjoy this content, if you enjoy my live streams, if you enjoy all the content I do, please hit the like button so other people researching this stuff can find it on their YouTube homepage. Okay? If you want to support the channel, we do super chat, super thank, or you know what? Spread the word and buy a hat, buy a coffee mug, or buy a shirt. Okay? I put all the money back into the channel. I don't put any in the bank. I just put it back into the channel. Equipment, software. I just bought a new video editing software. Woohoo! No more free stuff. It actually has good music. Not this... I felt like it was like from something from like 1989. I mean, it was crazy. It doesn't seem to be happening on travel trailers. Okay? It doesn't seem to happen on Imagine or Transcend or Flagstaff, Rockwood travel trailers, Cougar travel trailers. Really, if you guys want to know what the third most, so eliminate Grand Design for a second. Set Grand Design a second for a minute. The number one brand that is having a problem with this, that's not named Grand Design, is Keystone, Montana, High Country, and Alpine. And out of the stuff I've gotten, it's mostly 2018 to 2019 with a couple sprinkled in 21s and 22s. It's not nearly the amount of people with Solitude, Momentum, or Reflection. But if you want to talk about a brand outside of Grand Design that is having an issue that's more than what is normal... Because I've been getting onesie, twosies of different brands, sometimes 3 or 4. I think I've gotten like 5 Jayco Seismics now, like 3 Keystone regular Montanas. So far, everybody's either been bought out or in the process of getting bought out. So far, like onesie twosies of like Beacon, Van Lay, Mobile Suites, Riverstone, it's like onesie twosies here and there. Very, very few. Like when they talk about that frame flex is a small percentage of fifth wheels built, I think if you throw Grand Design aside, that statement is true. Okay. Tom from life.the journey or journey.the-life, can't remember that name of that channel, but he had a Columbus fifth wheel by Forest River and had frame failure, and they fixed it for him, right? So I think it's the way that this is being handled. Okay. No, there's nothing wrong with the 80s, but that bloody freaking video, that old video software, the old video editing software I was using was slow and bad. It is all Momentum fifth wheels, not the travel trailers. So far, no Momentum fifth wheel, whether it's the lighter weight one or the heavier one, none of them have been immune yet. River Ranch, I have not seen any, but I don't like the River Ranches. I like Columbus in general. I like the regular Columbuses. The River Ranch, to me, even though it's got all that basement storage, it's just not my cup of tea. I sold them, and I don't know, those steps going all the way up into the fifth wheel, up and down. I just can see someone falling out of those stairs. You know, the regular Columbuses are great. The River Ranch, I'd stay away from that. I just can see someone falling flat on their face, tumbling down those stairs. It's just not the greatest thing. Well, there you go, calculator risk. There you go. Okay, that's it for the evening. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. Thank you so much for your support. It's Amia. If I have 2024s that people are emailing me about that have frame failure on every Momentum. It is widespread. Even with the Rhino box. It's widespread. No, not too much Modelo yet. I barely have gotten down to there. I'm just nervous. So have a great night, everybody. Enjoy.